Hello everybody, my name is Elena Spicer and I'm one of the creators participating in PinkOddBird October Daily Challenge this year. This will be my 4th year participating, so I thought I would just come here and introduce myself briefly and also do a flip through of my previous albums. So let's go ahead and start with this 2019 one. It's a soft cover journal that I created and it just has a ribbon closure. Unfortunately, I did not keep track of the prompts anywhere, and I don't have April's original list, so I'm not sure what all these prompts were. This is my just cover page. I think this one was a Halloween creature that scares you the most. This was probably Witch's Brew, and then I think maybe favorite Halloween colors for this one. There was a poem that I meant to write later, but unfortunately I just never went back to it, so I never finished that. This was creating a collaged candy corn piece. This was drawing jack-o'-lantern, so I do remember some of these prompts. Your favorite snack to have while watching a Halloween movie. Just something extra that I did. Collaging a ghost here. I did a couple. If you had a magic broomstick, where would you fly? Can't remember this one anymore. This was creating a Halloween party invitation. This one was a fun one where we had to use a photo from the day. I really enjoyed that. This one were the tags with some advice on trick-or-treating. Frankenstein monster, something to do with that. Here are the leaves I preserved from this season. And just between the signatures. I think this was trying some new Halloween treat or something like that. I remember these were gravestones that we had to make, and there are some messages that we wrote inside of them. Having to make a choice between Dracula and Frankenstein, and I chose Dracula. Not sure exactly about this one anymore. Had to come up with questions for an interview with a vampire, and that year I used the same image as April used in her junk journal. Cannot remember this one anymore, but I think we had to use fabric, and then I included also a bat because bats are my favorite Halloween creatures. Worst Halloween candy you ever had, and then try to sell it. Magic wand and how you would use it. October poem, acrostic style. Cannot remember this one for sure. We had to write a word boo with some writing inside the O. This one was creating an unusual pocket, so I did an origami one. Cannot remember this one for sure anymore, or this one either. And then maybe favorite Halloween creature, and I used bats. Oh no, this was a frame. We had to create a frame. I remember now. And then the last one was a Halloween song, and I did Thriller of Michael Jackson. So that was 2019. In 2020, I went with a little bit larger format, but still the same soft cover, and then I ended up keeping this format after that. I enjoyed the size. I did have quite a few extra pages, so I filled them up with other things that were not just the April's prompts. I do have the prompt list here in the pocket. It was just another filler page, an extra page, and I put some text in here. We had to write the word Halloween with washi tape. This had something to do with a favorite character from a Halloween movie, so I did Barnabas Collins, a vampire. Something that scared us at night. I am a teacher, so it's kind of fun to use my students' artwork in my junk journals. Making a list of what I wanted to do this Halloween. This was a one sentence or a couple sentence short story that we had to create. cannot remember the prompt, but something that fascinates me is Victorian seance. And here's in this pocket there's a zine that I purchased from a seller on Etsy. I remember I did some research about ravens and symbolism that goes with ravens for this prompt. This is just a filler page. We had to do a design a haunted mansion, which was super fun, and I based mine on the one that they used. Oh gosh, I forgot the name of the movie where Barnabas Collins is a character. This was another filler page. Some prompt that had to do with the zombies. This was something about a we had to invent a costume, I think, and I just forgot to wear a pants costume for the Good Morning America anchor man who didn't wear his pants on Zoom. Kept track of movies I saw that year. We had to create a witch's hat, which was super fun. Think that had something to do with a monster creating or sketching, and I did a Slavic based one. This was receiving a letter from a movie character depicting a scene from a Halloween movie, and I did practical magic. I was going to write something here but never did. Another filler page. This was a really fun one. So if a fortune teller drew a card, what would it say? And mine said, your life is governed by the moon, but your fate is in your hands. I really enjoyed this one. Let's see, this one was ghost. Mine is an origami ghost, creepy doll. This was something about the witch's cauldron, and I did some research about it. Kept a card from a friend that I received in the mail. Story about a spooky tree. Halloween costume, and I did another bat costume. Creating a haunted schoolhouse story for this prompt. Bat costume yet again. Acrostic poem, going with the word October. This one, some kind of door prompt or something like that, and I used the same photo as I did the previous year. Messed up with the order of the prompts. This was a night creature. Wrote about the lore podcast I was listening to. Creating a curse. This was sugar skulls, and then a Halloween party page. So this was another fun one. And then the one I did last year, again similar format, soft cover with a ribbon closure, same size, double spreads. And this one, here's the list and a Starbucks card that we had that year. It was a really fun one. And then I did glue the prompts, which is really nice for this one. Paint, draw, collage, a full moon. Mine is a watercolor one. Frankenstein monster. It's again work by my students. This is something I did together with my students, so this was my sample. Ghosts, spooky ghosts, and again I got to use my students' art for this one again. Depict your own enchanted amulet, and I did something from my culture again and did some research. It was fun. Embroidered this symbol for it. Another monster created by one of my students, and I watercolored it. This was a poem centered around Black Rose, and this is gravestone rubbing from a local cemetery. If you could fly on something, what would it be? I chose the magic carpet. Create a page of goblins in the moonlight, and I created a watercolor moon, put it behind the street transparency. Kept track of the movies I watched. Halloween masks page. Halloween poem centered around trick-or-treaters. So here's part 1, and then here's part 2. Jeepers Creepers. Made me think of the movie I saw a long time ago that really scared me. An origami eye. That again, something I was creating with my students. A card I received in the mail. Frankenstein's dinner, student work one more time, or part of it. Being trapped in a scary movie, how do you survive? So I thought about being trapped in a movie Birds, and then I would unleash bats to save myself. If someone took something from your grave, what would it be? And mine is coffee, so you would rise from your grave to get it back. Halloween drinks, potions, ransom note, remember to burn the evidence. Another Halloween song, and I did Thriller once again. This was creating a man-eating zombie plant garden, and I based mine on some old legends of such a plant. More work of from my students for the pumpkin patch. This was creating a bat from scraps of paper and fabric. You're wandering through your neighborhood and peek inside a house. What do you see? There is a picture of a dinner table behind this transparency of a spooky house. This was Halloween Night Essentials, and I just created a mood boards based on the things that inspire me. Magic Potion, Halloween Spirit. Use candy wrappers to create a candy apple. Use only words to create shapes, but I did use pre-created ones from an Etsy seller. Zombie apocalypse, what would your role be? You're in a graveyard and you see something emerging, what is there? And I have a photo of a grave that I took of a snake charmer. This is just a snake charmer picture I found online, so it's not her grave, but there's a tarot card peeking out. Worst Halloween candy. These are pretty disgusting. Used orange, black, purple, and green Halloween colors, and I added them all here. And then the last page is a Halloween party again. So again, these are so much fun to create. I hope you join us for this year's October Daily, and if you do, we would love to follow your work, so please